What's going on, guys? Welcome to another installment of Canadian GT. Today I will be taking off the airbox and replacing that guy with a K&N filter. It is used. It's very clean though. It's in good shape for the most part. No holes, nothing, just the typical air filter wear. Comes with a special mounting kit to the MAF with the Allen key head bolts. So I'm going to be doing that today, showing you guys the process. There's not a lot of videos on this car for some weird reason, whatever that may be. But I also installed that boost gauge solenoid, and I did install a boost gauge. So it is locked, but as you can see, I have the boost gauge in there with the gauge pod. I ordered another gauge, so the other side of the hole, or the other side of the gauge pod, the hole would be filled. And yeah, that's what the car is going through today. So I am going to show you guys the progress on this. I'll probably do a sound at the end. Right now the car is very quiet. You can't hear anything. So I'm not going to do a startup right now because it's cold outside and open the garage door, yada yada yada. But just picture a bone stock car, and that's exactly what it sounds like. You can't hear anything. You can't hear the blow-off valve. Can't hear the turbo. Can't hear the exhaust even really, so just I guess be patient for when the filter's on. Alright, so I'm going to refit. I'm going to clean this MAF with my MAF cleaner. And just get all the dust out, dust and dirt. I'm going to refit this guy to this adapter with the new hardware. And I'm going to utilize and use one of these bolts with the rubber. And it probably mounts to one of these holes. Maybe this one, but I doubt it. So it's just the nail bracket. I'm going to use the rubber, and it'll just be an OEM-like install for the K&N. So here's the filter. It's definitely dirty. I didn't want to buy a brand new one just for the reason I knew I was going to go to a K&N or other filter. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright, so I took the MAF off. As you can see, it's dusty, it's dirty, it has some debris in there, it has some crust in there. So I'm going to clean that up, make sure the O-ring seal is all okay, and put that adapter on. Alright, so I cleaned up the MAF. It's a lot cleaner than it was. If you can see in there, that's shiny now. It wasn't before. I used my carb cleaner, or sorry, MAF sensor clean, and it works great. So I am now going to affix this on with a number 5 Allen key and the provided bolts, and go from there. Alright, so she's on there. Nice little adapter. If you do note, I used the factory bolts because they have a way nicer backing on them than what the bolts come with the kit, and they are just little nylon lock bolts. So I just found that they're a little too small for the hole. These are going to provide a much more better clamping force and sealing force in my opinion. So I could have just got washers, but hey, the OEM bolts are there. I'll just use the OEM. I'm a fan of OEM anyway. And I'm gonna give it one more wash down, clean it all up. It's really clean inside. Now it's just the outside, and then I'm gonna bolt everything back together. All right, she's all in there. The mount is, like I said, one of the 2 holes down there. It's very stable, but it still has enough room for everything to move as it should. But it's mounted up front, so that's good. I'm gonna start it and show you guys what it sounds like. And yeah, so have a listen. All right, so as you heard, you can hear the blow-off valve, you can hear the turbo spool, and it's just going to be more amplified in a good way when the car is under load. So overall, easy install, takes about 30 minutes if you do it right. I cleaned up all the hardware and stuff, and it took a little longer than I anticipated, but that's wise because I cleaned everything up as I went. So looks better, engine bay a little bit cleaner. Probably a little bit more horsepower based off my research. Anywhere from about 7 to 11 wheel horsepower is what these proclaim. And the dyno results that are available online say. So it's not a bad little horsepower gain. Probably a little bit of fuel mileage as well. So overall, easy to do, 30 minutes, and relatively cheap part to buy. So I recommend it. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please thumbs up and subscribe. Peace.